If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? He really doesn't know anyone who reads, does he? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. Did anyone ever say what the book was, or are we just imagining it? Okay, we don't have the title of the book, or the genre, or any details about it, and we haven't read our poem. I'm so disappointed so far. One's for keeping, one's for lending. That's the way it goes. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. For the lies. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Details! Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. Is that a real book? Somebody Google that for me. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. It's a very engaging and relatable story, said no human ever. I'm pretty sure I've said those exact words, but I'm also a wanker when it comes to literature, so... Alright, I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. Okay, so where does a guy named Markov come into it? Like... That's Russian, right? She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison, and while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. So is it a choose-your-own-adventure, then? That is super sad, because I would totally read a book about the dude who came up with Markov chains. That's, the thing that lets you generate, like, readable fake text, right? That's kind of... Oh my god, Yuri just spoiled the entire book you gave him? Well, it's all in the execution. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Aftersaka? Do I get to make a choice? I'm saving again. I have 9 pages of save slots. That's too many. No, it's not that. I wanted to make a choice. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. Those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, or their own philosophy that they believe in. You've been reading really bad other literature, if this is the only genre you find where this happens, kiddo. Yeah, she totally dug our poem. We haven't even read it yet. That's how good we are. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one, for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? I can't get over how her blazer is vacuum sealed to her torso. Thank you, Day. Day, I think you missed all of my ranting. But yeah, I'm right there with you. The first half of this video is basically just me yelling about the art. But again, I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess that's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So, I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah? Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. There was a great fic or short story or something about how all superheroines had their nipples removed as part of a plot by formula manufacturers so they couldn't breastfeed when they had kids, and thus formula feeding would be seen as trendy. Where did you find this? I mean, it sounds great, but what, like, that's so unusual. I've never heard of any similar plot lines. Neat. Alright, I open the book and start the prologue. I don't know, it was a long time ago. No, it's lost! I'm genuinely sad about that. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. That's the most annoying thing. Yuri, how could you? You've betrayed us. This is the true horror of the game. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Logic. Okay, I can't actually tell if you're being sarcastic or if you agree with me. At first it seemed like sarcasm, but now it seems like you agree. And I hope that's true, because you don't read over someone's shoulder, that's just the worst. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Oh god no, trying to read the same book as someone else's torture? Yes! Glad we're united on this front. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. Oh no, he's going to end up doing the couch stretch thing. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh, we've got a splash screen. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Sad boy has moves. I was not expecting this. I do the same with my right arm on the side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. Sad boy, keep it in your pants. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. This is like the most serious attempt to eroticize reading a book. This sounds like the sort of stupid romance setup that I would write, and I'm upset that someone else got there before I did. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. When? You are giving us a lot of credit, girlie. Yeah. Thanks. You wouldn't write this? You know that reading over shoulders is awful? But that's how I'd set it up. Like, I don't think you've ever actually read my writing, Rag. It's weird. Most of the people who know me from my writing, but I think you actually found me through Dark? Well, obviously if Ash wrote it, everyone involved would be a mass murderer or about to murder each other. Yeah, the things that I haven't mentioned about the boy band universe, there are things to look forward to. No. And secretly pigeons, that's also true. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. Boy serial killer band? There's a headline. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her, because that's what pages do. Her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. That doesn't seem like a compliment given what she said about the story. It's different from a boy band serial killer, obviously. Obviously. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all of the things she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. Is this really what you want to say to her, buddy? This doesn't seem like a good romance strategy. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. Look at him busting out the big words, trying to impress her. Well, she makes a series of terrible life choices and destroys her life, so the commonalities are obvious. Yeah, right? Like, it's not such a great comparison. Sad boy loses his moves? Yep. If we do end up doing the multiple playthrough thing next time, he's being named Sad Boy. I see. Oh, reading time's over. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But, Ashtasaka, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. You said it, not us! God, this game, I've heard some people not able to sleep for 7 days and 7 nights after finishing this. We haven't reached the horror yet, but the fact that everyone is telling me that is just... it's ratcheting up that anticipation. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. You're not very good at this, Ashtasaka. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Yeah, let me just point out this negative character trait of yours, but, you know, don't be self-conscious about it or anything. So long as it's not gory, I'm good. There is a website with, full content warnings day if you want to look that up. I don't know personally, so I can't advise you there. But, yeah, there are content warnings available. If you Google them, I'm sure they'll pop up. I guess I meant more that it's kinda cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Is it poem time? It's poem time! I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb, because books are spring-loaded. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? Oh, Sad Boy's moves are coming back. I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. Do we finally have a choice? In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. We don't have a choice. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Okay, Mom. The splash screen had shown it as a paperback. The auto-closing would make sense. We're really nitpicking the logical inconsistencies of this game. And I love it. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it into my bag. There's no dog earring. I'm surprised. Okay, I'm going to save over this save, just because I don't want to go through all that text again. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? We sure did! There's apparently another one of these games being made by the same guy. Well, this one's blown up quite a bit, hasn't it? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? Oh, we get to pick who we share with? This is like the Frog Fractions guy? Okay. I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Come on, let's do it! Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition book. I'm so excited. Yuri, if I have the choice, which I don't know if I will, it will be with Yuri. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into the bags. Oh, we're going to have an odd man out. I do the same myself. Yes, okay. Can I save here? I can. Who should I show my poem to first? Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced. So I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair, because I deeply care about the technical quality of my poem. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. This game has to have the dumbest main character in visual novel history, though? Interesting! It's our third choice, counting our name, right? It was our name, there was the choice that wasn't really a choice because it only had one option, and now there's this one. So if you're counting it that way, then yeah. Exceptional. She really liked it! We've done it! What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. Oh, I'm so embarrassed about having given you a genuine compliment. I don't miss high school. I was counting the poem as the second choice. Oh yeah, and that was like 20 choices. He's going to hate me for giving you a compliment! Yuri! You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. High school actually the worst. There's a reason all these horror games are set in, I swear to God. That's true. Yeah, the game undeleted itself? Dang. I've heard that it has like extra game elements, but that's all I know. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, you know, Ash compliments are poison. I mean, that is true. That is extremely true. What kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Yep, just the words on that list, the most imagerous and metaphoric dictionary that I could find just for you. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Savoy Des has a notepad full of middle school poetry somewhere? Yep, it's true. Well, I know that. I just meant... Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. We're just... exceptional, you know? She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. Sure? The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds a train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. She's a great beta reader, isn't she? I want her to beta read my stuff. Biased? How? Well... Never mind. Okay, so we gotta do Natsuki next, obviously. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh! An actual poem! Ghost Under the Light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Click outside pub area to continue? No problem. But I see, you're one of those people. I'm sorry I had such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Excuse me? That was the fastest your poem has ever been read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm speaking authoritatively like I know anything about poetry. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. You're the Vor kid, aren't you? Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Ashtasaka. What story? Unless she means the plot of her poem. I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story, or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. Getting a little heavy-handed there, kiddo. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's an emo poem about streetlights being modernized? I mean, that's what I got. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so I want to read my poem. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yes! I literally wrote my first poem last night by picking random words. Yeah, of course. You know, yeah, Yuri is a little bit inconsistent there. I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Ashtasaka. Be less honest, Ash? Never! Me too. Okay. I don't know if I need to save after all of them, but I am going to save after that one. So, let's do Natsuki next, because I'm interested to see how she's biased. Why are we ellipsising at each other? Ashtasaka, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? Finally, someone calling us out. Do you think the order matters, or do we only get to talk to a subset of them? I am curious too. I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Oh, yikes, called out. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. We spent like 3 whole minutes picking out random words. Like, how could she dismiss my effort like this? It genuinely hurts me deep inside. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. We suck too much for concrete. That was constructive criticism. Just burn it down and start again. I mean, you can't get much more constructive than that. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it. Ugh. It's so tsundere. I can't handle this. As we deep inside takes a big swig of what is hopefully soda. It's soda. Soda. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. I like all poetry. I have no preferences. I am a blank slate. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Ashtasaka has no taste or preferences, but he does seem to have strong opinions, which is interesting. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Ashtasaka is so bland he doesn't even have a body. Hey, we had a hand in that still of us reading with Yuri. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. Oh, such sophisticated techniques. I thought we didn't like sophistication. Okay, I'm sorry. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.